everyone. Welcome to Inside the Dojo. I'm your host, Willie the Bam Johnson, along with my lovely family, my wife, Kimberly Johnson, my son, Marco the Answer Johnson, and my two precious jewels, Messiah Johnson and Zarion Johnson, are part of our Dojo Kids crew. We're here to empower you, get you going, motivating you with the principles, concepts of martial arts as a lifestyle. Inside the Dojo. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Inside the Dojo. One of the things that I learned as a kid on how to set my goals, live my dreams, and manifest my visions was at the age of 6 years old after seeing a movie called Chinese Connection with my hero Bruce Lee. When I seen that movie on that movie screen, because of all the negative things that was going on in my community, in my household, the adversity that was just like plaguing my mind, my spirit, creating anxiety for a little 6-year-old kid, that movie allowed me to be able to see past all of that. That vision of wanting to be like Bruce Lee. Seeing that man on that screen, but instead of seeing that man, I seen myself. A little kid just sitting there, like some little kid out there right now, some adult. You have this vision of something that you want to be, and it's driving these emotions that you don't know what they are. But then that vision for me turned into a dream. Just dreaming, sometimes in school, mind just wandering, like thinking that's me, Bruce Lee, man, you know, I know we all have that same desire and those things happen, and sometimes your parent probably says, stop daydreaming. But daydreaming is good. Visions and dreams are very important to all of us. And we gotta make those things manifest into reality. For me as a 6-year-old kid, I did any and everything to try to find pictures of Bruce Lee and my heroes and pin them up on my walls, on the side, to the ceilings, wherever I could put them, because every time I walked in that room, regardless of what was happening, it allowed me to be able to see that vision and think about that dream. And that dream for me today became a reality. And that's what I'm saying to you. Your visions, your dreams can become a reality. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It's not going to happen in 2 years. But at least you can begin to take the right steps and move in that direction. Today, I have a vision board. I have one at home. I have one in my office. I have one wherever I go, because I want to be able to look at that vision board and remind myself of where I want to go when the going gets rough and things get tough and you just feel like you want to quit and you want to give up. You look at that board when you wake up in the morning. For me at 3 a.m., I look at that board and I see my heroes like Oprah Winfrey, Bruce Lee, Shannon Lee, all these people, some people I done shook hands with, Dana White and all these people. And it reminds me of what I have achieved and what I can achieve. So I'm saying to you, begin to think about your vision. Begin to hold on to your dream and begin to put things around you and in your life when everybody else tell you that it's not gonna work. Something that my instructor, Grandmaster Brown, always said, Bam, don't worry, because it's your vision, it's your dream. Don't get mad if nobody can't see it, because it's yours. You can see it. God knows it exists. And never let no one break down your vision and your dream. So let's get going. Let's step up and let's turn those visions and those dreams into reality. Willie the Bam Johnson, Inside.
That's what I'm talking about! Yes! Bobby, you should go! Yes! Bobby, you should go! Yes!
Alright, so, it's Cowboy Ryan. Give him a brief intro when you start talk to him about you.
Now here, Cowboy Ryan, my journey to get what I want, it's never over. It's always continuing. My journey.
Bring him more to the set.
It started in the camp.
Good to have you.
I changed my life 10 years ago. It took 10 years to get to where I'm at now.
He's got a helmet, man.
The next 10 years, but
there we we go.
You need to know.
Hey, no, wait.
You
Come
do
up here, will you?
this will change
Hold on.
your life.
Hold on. Turn around, will you?
You have to
Come on.
change
Real
your
quick.
story. Whatever
turn
story
around?
you're telling
Is that
yourself
possible?
in your life, that is what your life
on
is
up.
going
Come
to
underneath.
become.
There you go.
Not getting what you want
got the
in
same
life.
face cut,
Change
doesn't he?
your story. The next, most important thing,
Okay, look at muscle, man.
you are
Look at this guy.
passionate about.
It took him 10 minutes to get down the stairs. Smile, big
I was
cheesy
in there
grin.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Pretty darn close.
They beat on me
Nice
16
job.
ways to Sunday,
Now get on
and
down.
my passion,
3 t-shirts
my
for this man.
enthusiasm, my
There we
energy,
go.
what
Let's get a
I
picture.
believe in. Woo-hoo!
The model for
That's
muscle
what I'm
man.
talking about.
So,
The jobs
so
of the
tell
deal.
yourself, what would you say to
Right on.
somebody and say that
He's got
they
the chin
can
and
deal with Shark
everything.
Tank? They want to deal, when they want to
See,
deal,
if you
forget
try
about Shark
badass
Tank.
products,
They
you
just
will
want
look
to
like
live their
that
life.
guy.
Tell
There's
the kids
before,
something right there
there's
that you need to
after.
do.
But tell them, you want to
I don't.
improve your life. Most importantly, make a decision.
Top
Stop
class.
shooting
Oh my
all yourself.
word.
Stop
I like
talking
it,
about,
man.
I should do this, I should do that, I should make more money,
I
I should
remember
get
he
my
has the best
GED,
legs in the
I should
business.
go to
You
college,
couldn't even
I
see
should get a better
right
job,
in
I
his
should be
face.
nicer to my
Tom
wife, my
Glass.
kids. Step it up,
Oh my
man up,
word. How
woman
are you,
up,
man?
and make
He
that
was the
decision
bodybuilder that looked
today.
like a young Robert
Raise
Redford.
your
Who remembers Tom Glass
standards,
here?
my friend. You
My
raise your
word.
standards, your
Best
life
legs in the
changes
business.
The rest of your life.
Well,
Make
Tom,
the rest of your life
Tom, can I talk to you for a
the
bit?
best of your life.
How are you doing?
How's everybody? Now, so many years you're in this
That's what he's talking
so
about.
I think you're out of the business. Like it's like being in the mall.
No human being on this planet got the strength to beat you down, or to take your heart, or to take your spirit. The only thing that can hurt you is you. Suck it up! There you go, come on, one arm. It don't matter, just do it. Get it out. Don't let it break you down.
The energy that comes off this guy is just phenomenal, and it's contagious.
When you come here, you leave behind everyday worries. You know, the frustration at work. Not every day is perfect, but when you come here, you know, you leave everything behind.
I mean, everyone has their own drama, but it's nice to get away from the 7 days a week that I have at home.
Well, it's not only about the physical stuff, it's also about how to defend yourself. It's about discipline and focus.
It gives me confidence and for myself to be strong and like to not back away from anything.
In life, something's always going to be happening. You're never going to have a clear path towards success. There's going to always be something coming towards you.
Once you change your attitude in life, things start to work, you know, in mysterious ways.
I feel strong, I respect myself. Yeah, I feel like brand new every time I walk out of here.
I love that I came to Bam's Kung Fu. If it wasn't for my dad, I probably would still be overweight and not happy.
Harder! Harder! Because the girl's not going to be hitting you on the street, the guy is. Harder!
When you hear the word the BAM, it goes beyond just the energy. It goes beyond just WMAC master. It goes to a great father. It goes to a loving husband. It goes to all those things, the things that I strive to one day be.
Go, punch! Yeah, suck it. Scream it out. Scream!
He is just the embodiment of what a role model should be.
Don't you quit. Don't quit. Come on. Come on, Mr. Marvin. You know why I'm here.
I don't think they know how much they mean to me and Seth. Me as a single mom, he doesn't have a male to look up to in the household. And so when he comes home and he says, you know, Professor Bam told me I was a champion today.
Come on.
It means the world to me because he has someone that he can look up to every day when he comes into the school and say, I want to be a man just like that.
memories that you make here are memories that will stay with you forever.
Hi, I'm Master Kimber, and today we're inside the dojo. We're going to be talking about planning your work and working your plan. It's important in the everyday hustle and bustle of life that we try to stay on course and stay focused as much as possible. However, that proves hard for a lot of us, especially when you're a mom, a wife, a PTA president, owner of a business, and things like that. So it gets very difficult for me sometimes, so I can only imagine what it might take for other people who own like franchises and things of that nature, who have 4 and 5 kids, one at soccer, one at ballet, and one at football. So it does get crazy. So one thing that does help me out is at night, I sit down and I map out my next day. In order to do that though, I kind of would take it back to the beginning of, I would say maybe like November, December, where I start planning my goals for the new year. From a mom standpoint, I always try to plan out some goals from a personal standpoint for myself, as well as for my business, also now for my PTA. So that helps me kind of just have a big vision of where I want to go. And then what I do is I slice them down into pieces. And then I do quarterly goals for each. And then what I go from there is I do kind of like weekly and monthly. And in order to obtain any of that each night, what I do is I try to map out the next day or the next week, and I review it each night. For me, sometimes it's on my phone, sometimes it's in my calendar or my paper calendar. Whatever works for you, that's the best method. What might work for me is not necessarily what will work for you, and what might work for you might not work for me. So a lot of people try to follow a lot of trends with like, you know, having it on their phone or Google calendars and things like that. One way is not the perfect way. It's the way that works for you is the best way. So you have to keep that in mind when working your plan. Another thing is if you don't make a plan, you will fail consistently. And we're kind of in a situation, a transition situation right now. Our house burned down from a fire. So we've been living in a hotel. So I was just talking to a group of moms that the extra 10-minute ride to the hotel is insane because that 10 minutes for a mom turns into an hour all off course. So what we tried to do is each night keep them in the routine as much as possible so I can get to work on my plan for the next day. When making a plan, it doesn't have to be a list of 100 things either, because that will drive you insane. Because I do it to myself quite often. I think I can get at least 99 of those 100 done, which is not true. So what I try to do is I make a list of 10 and then I try to start the 3 most important things to get done that day. I am kind of like an A-type personality with a little bit of OCD in there. So what I try to do is woosah for a moment, because if not, I'll drive everyone else around me insane as well. I hate when papers are out of order. I hate when a stapler's not where it's supposed to be. And it's not so much OCD. People have no clue. It's just important for me to be right where it's supposed to be because that keeps my flow of my plan going. The more organization I have, the less stress I have because my plan can flow properly. Without that, I'm all off track, even the slightest second. So however, the other side of being diligent of planning and working that plan, I do have to allow for that woosah moment to come in, because if not, I will feel like I failed my plan. And then sometimes I'll look back at the end of the week and I'll think like, man, I didn't get nothing done. And then when I look and I start highlighting off my to-do list, I'm like, whoa, I got a lot done. So sometimes you have to stop and give yourself credit and just take that woosah moment. But don't forget to plan, because without planning, there's total failure.
Anybody, help me scream! Now, I'm not New York City, all years around. My name is known all over the town. So boy, people here love the way I run my game. They can't wait to see me look all around. Here's my name, and that's the fact. And they can't beat that with a stick or a bat. Now, I walk around and slide in the beat. In the MC world, there's no better than me. Man, I'm better than both.
Baby, welcome to
Booyah Magazine. You already know you're here with your kid, your boy, The Answer. We here with a legend right now. Can you please introduce yourself?
I am the backbone of the microphone, hip hop's first solo MC, the Chief Rocco Busy B, and I'm in Miami right now. We tossing it up. But before we get it any twisted, hip hop is a culture. It's about peace, love, unity, and having fun. Don't get it twisted. Rap is something we do. Hip hop is something we live. From the booyah to the fooyah, I'm in the building.
So I got one question for you. It's a very important question. Right now, the state of hip hop, like you said, is a culture. Some people get it misconstrued and think it's rap.
Right.
Can you please elaborate and tell us the things you created in the lab when y'all were writing, you, Big Daddy King?
Well, I actually just really said it in my intro. You know, rap is something we do now. Hip hop is something we live. So we're in a culture of peace, love, unity, and having fun. At the end of the day, I don't care what you're doing. That's what you would like to accomplish. Some peace, love, unity. That's what your family is. So, and have fun doing it. And that's all it is. So in our culture of hip hop, that's what it's about. And into the martial arts, it's a mind thing as well. Keep the body right, keep everything tight, keep your mind sharp, because that's in the culture too. We have entrepreneurs now in our culture. We have females. Females, please, this is very important too. Keep the faith in our culture, because don't get it twisted with BET and VH1 and MTV. Y'all not hoes, y'all not bitches, excuse me, but y'all queens, y'all ladies, y'all young ladies. We have nurses in the culture of hip hop. We have doctors in the culture of hip hop. We have lawyers in the culture of hip hop. We have the kung fu expert in the culture of hip hop. So I mean, it's a culture now. You understand what I'm saying? So you do what you do, and you can be and do whatever you want to do and be, if you want to be it bad enough.
How powerful has music transcended to empower people? Why is music so important to the survival of us?
Well, it's a certain amount of music for everybody, and there's a different culture for everybody. But I'll say again, hip hop didn't invent anything, but we reinvented everything. And to the state that's going on right now, don't get it twisted. I am hip hop, and I've always existed. And through these new physical forms and these new presence and times, I am still the Chief Rocco Busy B. And thank y'all for y'all goddamn time.
Give us one thing. A kid struggling right now, sir. He's struggling. He's ready to quit.
Keep your head up, stay around positive people. Don't do it, because I mean, anything can happen. You stay strong in what you want to be and do, and you can be it. Sometimes it takes to be by yourself. Sometimes it takes to do it by yourself. You might have haters, non-believers. You keep believing in you. You can do what you want to do, be what you want to be, if that's what you want to do. I'm out. Busy B.
Thanks.
There we have it, bringing the show to an end. Inside the Dojo. Glad you could join us here, and we look forward to seeing you again. But as we depart today, I greet you with respect. Oos! And they say martial arts always begin and ends with respect. But I want you to think about something. I want you to dare to be great. I'm gonna say that to you again. Dare to be great. Only way we can be great and live up to our true potential is to be an example of peace, harmony, and happiness for the next generation. But guess what? Keeping principles before personality. When you live a life of principle-filled leadership, you cannot go wrong. So until next time, you have a great day, a blessed day, and as we say at the end of every last one of our classes, see ya!